Okay, I'm back. It's day 3 of my day 10 videos, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about feeling discouraged when wanting to apply or travel and come and teach in South Korea. For some time now, I'd say maybe for the past 3 or 4 months, I've received messages primarily from melanin-rich women of various ages who have started the process or are interested in the process, mostly who have started the process and have gotten a little bit discouraged because they haven't gotten any responses. Some don't make it to the interview phase, some get an interview and then nothing happens past that. So you know, they write messages and they want to know my experience. How did it work for me? What suggestions do I have for them? And so I just wanted to make this video. There are about 5 main points that I do want to discuss. Yeah, so not to get too deep into it, this video is about feeling discouraged when wanting to come to South Korea. So the first thing is, are you applying to a private institution, which is known as a hagwon or academy, or are you applying to public school? The process is completely different. The requirements can be completely different. Hagwon is a private institution. They're privately funded, so they really have, they really can be picky. They can pick and choose who they want, really. And I've heard stories of hagwons not choosing someone on how they look, their accent, if they have a very deep accent or their accent sounds funny to the hagwon owner. I have heard of that, and so it depends on where you're applying. Hagwon jobs come a dime a dozen. They're always posted on websites like eslcafe.com. It's much more easier to get a hagwon because they're always hiring. So you have to kind of assess what you're trying to get yourself into. And you know, all of the horror stories that some people hear are usually from people teaching at hagwons. The firing out of the blue, the letting you go so they don't have to give you the bonus, the not picking you up once they see you at the airport from a distance. I've heard all these stories and they are true. But like I said, they're all hagwon stories. If you apply to Epic or Gepic, that's not going to happen to you. The process is a little more structured, it's more reliable, the funding is there, and with it being your first time teaching in South Korea, I would definitely recommend you apply through those programs, Epic and Gepic, just for safety's concern. And if you have a little bit of anxiousness of being in a foreign country for a whole year and you've never been there and don't know anyone there. So you have to look at where are you applying? Are you applying to hagwon or public school? The second one, do you have all of your documents ready? And if you don't have them in hand, do you at least have your background check maybe like a week away or 2 weeks away from being completed? Do you have your passport? You need your passport. Like, don't even apply unless you have your passport already. Do you have your apostle documents, your diploma? Do you have your original diploma that you can just make a quick copy of? These are things that are important, and you should have at least half of them or be almost done or at a comfortable pace with getting them completed when you apply, because they will ask you. Like, that is #1 important when applying, whether to hagwon or public school. So just make sure your documents are on point, or you've already got the ball rolling on those. Okay, #3, what kind of recruiter are you using? There are many recruiters who are based in Korea, who are based in the States, who are based in the UK, all working for hagwons and public schools in Korea. A lot of the time you have people who are applying to teach here who are fresh out of undergrad. And so, you know, just with experience, they may turn in an application, not follow up, and just wait for the recruiters to respond to them. Whereas in my experience, I made it a policy to catch up or to check in at least once a week, because sometimes you won't hear anything. You want to make sure that you're on their mind. You want to make sure that they know that you're invested in this process and that you're serious and that they don't forget about you, because really these recruiters get a lot of applicants, and so you want to be fresh in their mind, and you want to follow up, and you want to inquire, and you want to make sure that there's nothing else that you have to turn in or they need anything from you, a video, etc., etc. So you really have to show your interest and just stay on the minds of your recruiter. 4, does ethnicity, accent, all of that matter? Yes, it does. I have seen postings for jobs, teaching jobs, that specifically ask for people from the UK. They ask for people from North America. They ask for people from South Africa. They get specific. Usually it's the Hagwons. Like I said, Hagwons have the right to ask for exactly what they want. I've seen postings where they specifically ask for so-called white applicants, and you know, they interview you to make sure that your accent is recognizable, that it's not too deep, that you don't have too much of the excuse me, your local dialect in your speech, to make sure that they get kind of, I guess, a standard or normal speaking English person. Yes, it sounds crazy, but it's the truth, and this happens whether or not you're in South Korea or somewhere else. Guaranteed, this is a factor that plays in. Number 5, what type of certification do you have? Sometimes, not so much for South Korea, but I mean, it can help. Did you do the TESOL, the TEFL? There's so many different types of certifications, and a lot of people have asked me, you know, why did you do the CELTA as opposed to the TEFL or TESOL? My reasoning was because I wanted long-term, and I don't want to just teach in South Korea. I want more flexibility. I wanted the top level training. So a lot of factors went into my decision. Sometimes schools will favor one certification over another. However, in South Korea, I haven't heard of anyone being turned away or not given an interview because they got a TESOL or TEFL. And an extra one, is it really time for you to go teach in South Korea? Everybody's reasoning is different for wanting to come and teach abroad. But if nothing is working out for you, you've done everything correctly, you have all of your documents, recruiters, applications, lesson plan on point, everything on paper looks good, and it's just not working out, this might not be your time to travel to South Korea to teach. And that's definitely not an answer I know no one wants to hear, especially when I was applying. I ain't nobody got time for that. I wasn't trying to hear that, but after being here, I had one specific incident where it could only be the universe speaking, like, you need to chill out. Everything that I tried to do, everything that I did, I was fighting against an invisible brick wall. If it feels like that and it gets to a point where, you know, nothing, absolutely nothing you can do, you've tried every single thing, you've gone about it in every possible single way that you possibly could, then you really have to sit down and be honest with yourself. You might want it so badly, but this just might not be the time or the place. Your presence may be needed in another country. You don't know, and you won't know until you get there. That's not to say be so discouraged that you give up completely. I do not say give up completely, because the benefits are enormous. I will say, be honest with yourself, keep an open mind, pay attention to all the signs, and keep it real. So this has been 5 things, 5 plus 1 bonus, of, you know, if you're feeling discouraged or defeated with your process of applying to teach in South Korea, I say keep at it, keep going. There is somewhere that you are supposed to be. It's just a matter of finding out where that is, who that's with, whether it's in South Korea or not. So hopefully this gave a bit of insight to you. If you're applying in the process right now, good luck to you. And I wish you all the happiness and be well on your travels. Okay, see you later. Bye.